Welcome to Truth Snack, a channel that gets us discussing the deep questions in life. This past week, Andreanne commented and said, "Hi Matt, I love Truth Snack. Truth Snack loves you. I would like to hear you discuss the subjects of pain and suffering and world inequality. Might you be up for that?" I'm totally up for it, which is why in this video, we're going to be discussing pain and suffering in the world and our emotional responses to it. You're not going to want to miss it, so stick around. That's coming right up. Giving an intellectual answer to someone who's suffering is like handing a book on medicine to someone with a broken arm. But on the flip side, when someone wants to discuss suffering on an intellectual level, if you give them a firm hug and tell them you love them, it seems shallow and ridiculous. And that's because dealing with the question of suffering on an emotional level is really a separate issue from dealing with it on an intellectual level. In this video, we're tackling the emotional aspect of suffering. Sometimes friends are surprised to find out that I broke 11 bones when I was a kid. I mean, I was wild. But that's not really when I started thinking about suffering in the world. It was as an adult. Several people who were supposed to love me and protect me turned on me, and to my heart, it was absolutely the emotional equivalent of breaking 11 bones. I've never been so hurt and felt so betrayed, and I struggled with depression for months because of the whole situation. But my pain led me to a bigger question. If I got depressed over the relatively small amount of pain and suffering I went through, how should I feel when considering all the suffering around the world? No one wants to feel hopeless. I definitely don't. But we also don't want to lie to ourselves about the reality of suffering or have some kind of blind hope. So if we're going to be hopeful, then we need to seriously ask this question. What's my source of hope for this world? You need to have an answer for that question, and so do I. We all do. Otherwise, I think the logical thing would be for all of us to despair. I believe God exists for several reasons, some of which are in this playlist right here. And I believe God became a human being named Jesus of Nazareth. He actually knows what it's like to suffer in this world, and he can put his arm around us, listen to us, feel with us and cry with us, and tell us he loves us. And I believe in an all-powerful God who says he will wipe away every tear from our eyes. That in the future there will be no more death or mourning, crying or pain, that the way that the world is now will actually pass away. And it's because of that promise that I still have hope for myself and this world. I haven't given up on it. I still care for it and fight for it. That's how I answer the question of hope. How do you answer it? Obviously, some people find their hope in some source other than God. In fact, some people feel that the evil and suffering in the world actually disprove the existence of God. Well, that's the intellectual side of this discussion and exactly what we'll be diving into next Tuesday, so I'll see you then.